If you haven't heard about Anchor, let me tell you about it. Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free, and there are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer.
The best part is that Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and so many more. And you can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast, all in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Hey, you're listening to the Speaking of Music podcast.
Hey guys, we're back.
And today we have something really fun planned out. So we decided to start a new little segment in our podcast known as Hot Takes, and we are going to talk about all the fun stuff going on right now in music, and we are going to give our unsolicited opinions.
Unsolicited being the key word here. But no, I think it's more than just music. We'll dive a little bit into pop culture in general. What's going on? What are our takes on it? And, later on in the series, we might have a couple of special guests. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, let's get started.
Okay, so today we are going in a direction that is going to make me very, very happy. We are going to talk.
We're going in one direction, perhaps.
We're gonna talk boy bands. We're gonna talk Harry. We're gonna do what we can. So recently, there's been a lot going on with Harry. Which when is there not?
When is there not?
When is there not? But that's exactly what I'm gonna talk about. So recently, after the Don't Worry Darling premiere, there's been some speculation about Harry's acting, and I'm going to give my 2 cents on Don't Worry Darling. So I saw it on opening night. Have you guys seen it?
No.
I've seen clips and I've seen people's reactions.
Yeah, I've
the
seen
reactions
the same thing.
literally kill me, because why are people acting like it's the best movie ever? They're like, oh my god,
They're like worshiping it.
They're like, that shocked me. Like, that was so good. No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Let's not lie to ourselves.
Okay, it wasn't, and that's okay. I feel like the movie had potential. I feel like the characters did their best. But the script, I've read the original script because I'm nosy, okay? And I needed to know if I was gonna be scared in the movie theater, because I don't do well with thrillers or horror. So I read the script when it came out, and it looked really, really good. It had a lot of promising things, a lot of subplots that I really enjoyed. And then when I got to the theater, all of those were literally removed. And I get that you have to take things out for the purpose of the movie, but then I felt like other scenes were in there unnecessarily. There was big drama with them cutting out Margaret.
Yeah, I did see that. I think that the movie industry is definitely very questionable, especially right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's having a lot of issues.
There's been no good movies.
Literally.
Not that I've watched any, but
I do think that the whole thing about how Olivia Wilde's decisions in regards to the movie definitely made it go downhill a lot. I think that the whole thing was just an unfortunate circumstance that led to more circumstances. And the only positive thing that came out of this is Florence Pugh, because we love Florence. I support her all the way. When I was reading the critic reviews, not the audience reviews, the critic reviews for Don't Worry Darling, basically all of them were like, this movie was meh, very predictable, but Florence Pugh carried the movie on her back with her amazing acting. And I was like,
okay,
yes.
I mean, speaking of acting, I feel like the issue here is that Harry's just worship him to the point where even if he delivers, even if he delivers, I don't think his performance was bad per se. It was just very mid, they could have really gotten a ton of other anyone else really could have filled his place.
I saw one comment on YouTube that I really agree with, or was it, I don't remember what it was anymore, but just this one comment, and it was a scene that was only with Harry and Florence,
mm-hmm.
and everyone was like, Harry looks like he's acting in a high school drama play thing, and Florence looks like she's acting in an actual movie.
Right. And it's a conversation that Harry, die-hard Harrys are just not ready to have, because they're like, oh my god, we love Harry Styles, everything that he does, every single thing that he does is like absolute perfection, but it's just like not. And they're not ready to have that conversation.
This is my take on this. As like a diehard Harry, as we'll say, okay, I don't like to use the word Harry because that insinuates that I only like Harry, and that's like absolutely false.
Sure.
I love all of One Direction, but my thing is like, if you're an upcoming actor, but you are like not an upcoming actor because you are already a celebrity, you need to start with roles that are going to complement like who you are. And Harrys themselves find it so difficult to separate the actor from the character, and people are like thirsting over Jack when he's literally an abusive manipulator, and like he's so disgusting, like he's so gross. And but my issue is that character doesn't like fit who Harry Styles like is presented to be. So in order to like kind of like build up who he is, like they kind of should have just given him roles that complemented his personality. You know what I mean?
Lady Gaga right now.
Yeah,
she did it correctly.
She did it right. And listen, she had some ick moments along the way, but overall, like A Star Is Born delivered. You know what I mean? And I think that it would have been so much better if he just played like a nice guy in a bunch of movies, and then as he got more experience, you can branch out a little bit more, because I think personally, he's another movie coming up. I think My Policeman is going to be fantastic from what I've seen. Like, you know, he can have his like soft boy era, you know what I mean? And you know, he just needs to be like a nice like sentimental guy to like get all the Harrys to be like, oh my god, like he's so cute, like I would marry him, and like be justified in that. And also just to have him do a convincing performance. To me, the most convincing parts of Harry's performance were when he was genuinely like seeming to care about Alice, you know? And that's why people were like, oh my god, I would fold immediately. No, you wouldn't. And I think he did okay. Like he tried to give the character depth, you know, because he was supposed to be like really angry and really hot-headed, but he was also just kind of like a whiny little dweeb, like, you know what I mean? Like,
sure.
He literally went into, okay, spoiler, so like skip a few seconds if you don't know the plot of the movie. He was in a simulation. Like he literally had to go into a simulation to fix his life. Like he's such a loser.
Yeah, that is very loser-like behavior.
Like he just couldn't handle that his wife was better than him.
That's so funny.
Right?
That
like
is funny.
Because Alice was like a real doctor. And he just
was like
he was like a jobless asshole.
Okay, I think we kind of need to switch gears from Harry Styles' solo career to perhaps
maybe his music career. There have been rumors of a One Direction reunion. So first of all, I think I'm just gonna ask you guys, what do you guys think about a One Direction reunion?
I don't think it's completely something that's like never ever gonna happen. Like I think that it's very plausible that these rumors are indeed true, because first of all, it would be a smart marketing move. Like all the buzz that's surrounding, like, I mean, I guess specifically like Harry and like Louis has a lot of new stuff out, like everything that's like surrounding each of the individual members. If they came together and it like this started up again, like the internet would go crazy. And they know that. So it's very plausible that it could happen. I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Yeah, I think the most compelling thing is Zayn starting to sing One Direction songs again. Like, he has had his mouth shut on One Direction for years, you know what I mean? And now he's singing You and I. He's singing, you know what I mean? That was godly.
That was amazing. I love that.
All right, Vic, what do you think?
I don't really have...
She genuinely doesn't care
too much of an opinion on this topic. I don't think that I agree with what Anusha said about all of the marketing, the positives that could come out of that. I think that if it were to happen, it would definitely be, they'd have to do it like properly,
right?
Because the thing is that they all have like their own solo careers.
I was about to say that,
but they're all at like different points, I guess. Like they're not like they're not equal. They're not like, it wouldn't quite work if they kind of just suddenly walked into a room together again, you know?
Right, because Harry has 3 albums, Louis has 1, Niall has 2. Like they're all at different like solo career milestones, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and something that if they hypothetically did get back together, something that they'd have to really focus on is bringing their band together in a way such that it's reminiscent of their old stuff, which is what the fans want, like reminiscent of their old image, while also keeping in mind the fact that each of them are very, very, very different people now.
Exactly. And I think the One Direction reunion will never be what people want it to be.
Right.
And I think it's time to accept that. I think it's time to accept the fact that they have moved outside of the genre that they were before, and they're all, you know, making considerably more authentic music for the most part, you know, because
yeah, I mean, it was a different time, like
it was
6 years ago.
And I love One Direction music. I love it. But there is no denying that especially the first 2 albums were so highly generated to be like
Boy
success.
band, yeah.
The amount of times they mentioned girls and the general 5 foot something with the skinny jeans, like that is everyone. That was everyone in 2013. You know,
it was designed to make you feel like
it was designed to make you
this song
feel
is written
special.
about you.
And now like things are changing, and I think the internet sparked a lot of change, a lot of like wanting to be closer to your like favorite artists.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Which I think is so interesting, because before like the tabloids had so much more power than they do now. Because now like a celebrity can just go on Twitter and be like, I am very wrong. I am very sorry, you know? And before, like, you had to tell TMZ we're sorry.
Yeah.
But I think if they do get together, it won't be now. I think Harry still has 1 album to go before he kind of steps back from the spotlight a little bit. I think that's what's going to happen. I think my prediction is once Harry steps out of the spotlight a little bit more, then the One Direction reunion can come. Once he rides out the high of his solo career, like once he comes over the hill of the peak, then it'll be time, I think. And
it's like the story mountain.
Yeah, it's like once he like the climax.
The climax, yeah, the story mountain.
I think Louis and Liam
actions.
No, Louis and Liam definitely think it. Louis said it'd be a shame for it not to happen. Liam said it'd be a shame for it not to happen. Zayn
is in the 1D mindset.
Listen, Zayn might not return, and I think it's okay to accept that. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to. But, you know, they might do like a big time rush, maybe like not a full tour. I think they might like hit a few cities.
Yeah, and that would be okay for the fans, I think. Like,
yeah, just to sing the songs together one last time and maybe get out of there.
Yeah.
Maybe make some money off of it too, because
they will.
It is
They'll make a considerable amount.
It is Hollywood after all.
Okay.
Let's move on to not a boy band.
Yeah. Let's shift topics to 5 Seconds of Summer.
So coming up, we do have a nice, fun episode on their newest album, but let's dive into 5 Sauce and their not boyband-ness.
I think it's something just observation-wise, the fact that they still exist.
Yeah.
Unlike many other bands,
quote unquote boy bands.
Yeah.
It just sets them apart. Like, they're not boy band for that reason specifically.
Yeah, the definition of what a boy band was in like
early 2000s.
Yeah, like 2010, like that kind of music era.
I think it's because they chose each other. You know what I mean?
Right. Like, they weren't like shoved together.
Like, what happened was Louis like scoured the internet one day and found them making YouTube videos. You know what I mean? Like, One Direction didn't choose each other. As much as like I'd love to believe that they were all like made
destined,
to be in a band together,
yeah.
like they didn't choose each other. Somebody chose them because they looked good together, because they thought they can make money off of it. And
right.
That's not a great outlook, but it's what happened. And you have to accept it. You have to move on.
Yeah.
But 5 Sauce had their little boy band moment. As much as I hate to admit it, they did have their nice little boy band moment opening for One Direction. They had that power in their hands to market it like a boy band, and they did. They did what they had to do, and then they took a break, and they regrouped, and they said, we are going to do whatever we want now. And
right. They chose not to continue with the image that they kind of set up in the beginning.
Right. They went under like a reroute plan. They ended their contract. They left Modest, which was an extremely controlling management, as told by everyone who's ever been part of it. You know, Fifth Harmony was Modest too, right?
Probably.
I think so.
Fifth Harmony, One Direction, 5 Seconds of Summer, potentially Little Mix, whatever. They all have said so much bad things about that. So they broke 3. They're kind of doing an independent thing. They are being distributed by BMG. And they've had a lot of success recently.
And I think that there's just like we were talking about their image not being like a boy band, but their sound too is just, it's not the same. It's just a different quality of music, I
Their
think.
sound is gorgelicious. In my opinion.
Gorgelicious? Gorgelicious or gorgetastic?
Gorgetastic. Oh, I love them so much. It actually, like, it's so exciting to me to see them doing well, to see them on tour, to see them having a good time. And I think it's very refreshing to see artists kind of, you know, saying, hey, we don't need this success, but thank you so much. And it means so much because we know we got this organically. We know we got it because our fans like really care. And I think 5 Seconds of Summer a little bit restores my faith in music and industry stuff because they did it. Also, let's talk about Luke Hemmings is engaged to Miss Alex and Sierra.
So exciting.
I love her. And their new song together, which we will be talking about on the episode, is literally so pretty, so gorgeous. And I love seeing like couple collabs for music because like it's so much more fun that way.
True. Okay, let's shift gears to our final hot take of this episode. It's going to be about Miss Taylor Swift and her upcoming album, Midnights.
Which we will be discussing
Of
as
course.
soon as it comes out.
Of
as
course,
soon as
of
we
course.
can.
But I mean, I think we want to talk about just kind of our thoughts, predictions, general branding of the album so far, because I definitely have some stuff to say about that.
I mean, okay,
have some
let's start off with the fact that when it was announced, I 100% thought it was a joke. When our friend sent it to the one
that's off
chat,
the street, we know that one.
You know,
I looked at it and 100% thought that it was a joke.
it looks like a man.
It's giving Pixar.
It looks like a fan-made album cover. And I hate to say it, but a lot of Taylor's like recent like aesthetic is so painfully millennial, which I get that she's a millennial.
Wow.
I get it.
Okay,
But-
see, I don't agree with you saying that Red Taylor's version cover was not good. Sorry, I'm like fully.
It was fine. Okay.
I liked
it. Just
it.
wasn't all that. Like the thing about the nostalgia of 2012 for me, like a lot of it wasn't picked up in Red Taylor's version. It like picked up like a Christian Girl Autumn vibe that it didn't have before.
No, I agree. It gave a little like too much like fall like.
Yeah,
I
Red
know what you're
before
saying.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22. Like the whole fedora,
Young.
like the fedora, we're never gonna get that back again.
That's true. But okay, coming back to Midnights, I am starting to have a tiny bit of, I don't want to say issue, but I'm going to say issue with some of the song titles.
What?
Because
Really?
in my brain, they just feel very like
They feel very not Taylor.
exotic.
Okay,
Exotic.
Like-
Are you trying to get us canceled?
No, not like exotic like that. Like they just feel so like out there.
Right. And I feel like early in Taylor's career, I feel like now that titles, like how people title their music has changed a lot.
so
recently.
different, yeah.
Definitely.
And so at the beginning of her career, like You Belong With Me.
Like I'm not saying that I love like the generic song titles and that I don't like it when artists are more creative with their song titles, but this track list is definitely looking very fascinating, and I'm kind of I'm curious to see what she does with it. Obviously,
I do
but
think
I'm a tad worried.
I do think that of the tracks that have been revealed so far, because it is October 5th when we are recording this, so the whole track list has not been revealed yet. She's still doing the whole little TikTok Midnight's Mayhem. I think that is cute. Like
I think it's very cute.
the
And it's
way
very
she's
exciting.
promoting it like that. I do like some titles more than I like others.
For example, I'm not a big fan of Bejeweled.
Yeah, no, when I saw it this morning, I was like,
But that's very Taylor. I don't know.
I thought it was really interesting when people pointed out when it was Maroon and I was like number 2, and how
Yeah.
like Red was like also the second track of the Red
Oh
Yeah.
my
album.
god, I didn't see that.
No, I saw that. I saw
Yeah.
that.
Damn. Okay. I'm a little bit behind.
Anti-Hero is like
I like,
good.
but in my mind, it's like, is it anti-hero or is it anti-hero?
Anti-hero.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, because
Anti-hero is kinda
didn't she
cute.
say anti-hero?
Did she?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure she did.
The question. I hate question.
I hate it too.
I hate
That was
Question.
my least favorite.
Confession, I hate Question.
Okay, also, like, I know she's really rolling with this whole Midnight's aesthetic, but Midnight Rain seems a little forced to me in my brain.
We haven't even listened to this.
I
one
know,
yet. Like,
I know.
We
No,
can't
these
judge.
are initial impressions, and we're allowed to do that. We're allowed to do that because we've just
the whole point about titles is you're supposed to like look at the title before you listen to the song.
That's what I'm saying. We're allowed to do that because like you obviously know we love Taylor Swift. We've done
low-key,
too much. On this
Mastermind seems like something I would write.
Like Mastermind is good.
Okay, Mastermind like makes sense, right? I had an issue with Question when it was announced. I was like,
it could be the best track off the album, guys.
Yeah, and honestly, whatever. Like, we'll get to it when we get to it. But I understand that everyone has a different writing style, and I have a writing style that kind of icks me out a little bit sometimes too, and I'm sure it gives others the ick. But whenever I see a song that's like, I would write that, it doesn't feel good to me. I'm like, oh, it probably isn't that good. It's like, if I could write it, do we really want that out in the world? I don't know. Mastermind, like, I feel like it'll be good. It's the closer, so I feel like there's got to be some merit to that.
People already, like, for some reason have really high expectations from this album. Just like, not for some reason, but they're saying like, oh, it's just gonna be the best out of all of her albums. Like, how do you know that?
How do you know that? Because first of all, it's giving me more red flags.
Yeah, that's like,
okay, listen, not that the Evermore album cover is stunning or anything.
no, I love that album cover. Don't tell me.
That looks like
this is not.
It looks
this is
like
not it.
2013. It looks like not 2013 Pinterest, but it definitely looks like you know, like it gives 2017 where everyone was like in their photography era.
Right. And Taylor is so beautiful. Why would you choose this angle of her?
oh, I know, right?
It's just
I'm like,
not
why
a
does
flattering angle. Like her hair.
like
I think her face looks fine.
No.
I think the Midnight's era makeup is what's killing me.
yeah.
Okay, like I think she looks great all the time. And I think there's some things that are more flattering on everyone. Like that's true for everyone.
Right.
But let's take a look at her Instagram right now. So we're gonna look at Taylor Swift, and all of her reels for her outfits sometimes are like, okay, I can't tell if we're going back in time for Midnight with like this big time smoky eye, like if she's trying to be Lady Gaga, like what is going on here? You know what I mean?
I feel like only time will tell what this album is going to be like. And I feel like we've been a little harsh, but we really are excited for this.
Of course.
It goes without saying, I think. But these are just our initial impressions, and
it feels like we're going back to like debut through Fearless era with her makeup, like making her eyes like smaller instead of bigger.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I like this
like
look,
the
though.
behind the song one. Everyone is
I
so
look
excited.
is gorgeous.
I like that.
I
did like that look.
I think everyone is so excited for Anti-Hero. I feel like I can't. Like I feel like it's gonna be like Cruel Summered. Like
that's why I
we
feel like
can't
it's
start.
gonna be the.
I'm really excited for Mastermind. So far out of all of them, I think that might be.
I think people were also really excited about Vigilante. Okay, first of all, I hate that word so much.
Vigilante.
Yeah, I don't like
Vigilante shit.
I just think it has too many.
Cursed in the title.
Yeah, I'm not.
I think it has too many syllables.
I think it's just
Like,
such an ugly word.
What I'm saying is, I feel like a lot of these titles feel like forced,
Mhm.
like Midnight Rain, like vigilante, like using a word like vigilante. Like, yeah, of course it's on brand for her to use big words like that, but like not in the title, girl. Like, I don't know how to describe it. This just might be like
I think the power that Taylor has is that her like titles are they're good, all right, like you know what I mean. But her most interesting lyrics are never made the focal point of the song.
right.
What
I'm
you have to
saying.
discover them.
Yeah.
And I feel like what's happening here is that
the most interesting or quote unquote like quirky
Yeah.
words are
Are-
just being used as the title.
this album is a little too quirky.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Like Folklore and Evermore had some nice titles. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
you know, like Tolerate
Damn
It was
Season.
a pretty lyric. Like
Tis the Damn
Damn
Season was fantastic.
I like Willow. Willow's
I
cute.
love Willow. Yeah, Gold Rush. Like these are all like
they're all
like all
they're
of these
enticing.
like when I looked at the track list for like Evermore and Folklore for the very first time, like I never had like what is that gonna be? Like I always like all of the titles were just like very like straight to the point, like perfect for the
Right.
song.
And you like
they were
get
interesting.
excited.
Yeah, you get
like,
excited.
oh, what is this
These
song?
ones,
These ones
are like really quirky and out there, and that makes me like.
It makes me nervous because it makes me feel like that's gonna be the only like selling point of the song is like
Right.
the lyric relating to the title. Because even though Tolerate It is like Tolerate It, the concept was like really good, like lay the table, you know, and watch you tolerate it. But her most like fun lyrics were like, you know, while you were out building other worlds, where was I? You
Right.
know, like I don't know, but
No, that
she'll
makes a lot of
deliver.
sense.
She will deliver.
I know.
I feel, at least in some respect.
And we're gonna be back to talk about her.
And I also was not expecting this album. I was expecting another re-record. I wasn't expecting another album until the end of the re-records.
I
No
thought
one
there was
was.
gonna be like one. I thought it was like the whole 1989 Speak Now thing. I thought that was gonna like
Come first, and then
come
potentially
first
another
possible-
album,
and then another
before
one
Reputation
before
and Debut.
Reputation and Debut. That's what I thought.
Although,
But
now
yeah,
we're
no, this still
officially-
came a little early than most of us expected. So we'll see how it ends up.
Maybe she's promoting this because she wants Rep to be next. You know what I mean? Because we're almost in Rep recording season.
Yeah.
So if
that's
she just
true.
does all the promo for this album and then bam, Rep recording season could be her next project.
It could.
But, she kind of lives by the never let them know your next move.
She does keep us on our toes, and it's a fun time. Her marketing is just so much fun.
Yeah.
So
With that,
those are all of our hot takes
for today.
for today.
We'll be
Just
back
for
for
today.
more.
We'll be back. We're so excited with this new series. If there's anything you kind of want us to talk about, let us know. I know this wasn't our hottest of hot takes.
Yeah, these are definitely not
They're pretty
the most
tame.
out there opinions. We'll have more. Don't worry. We have some pretty outrageous opinions most of the time. So make sure you let us know if there's anything you'd like to see us discuss. Our Instagram is at the Speaking of Music podcast.
And our TikTok is at Speaking of Music Podcast. So make sure to go follow those for all the latest updates. And let me just throw this out there before the episode ends. I want like a full on like tailored 9 or well I guess Midnight's like 10 albums like ranked at it like
we'll go
I
at
want
it.
that.
We'll
I
go
want
at
that.
it.
Okay. But anyways, yeah, let us know if you'd like to see anything like that. Any of your favorite artists that we haven't really talked about. Ariana, I feel like we haven't really talked about
We'll
her
come back
enough.
and do some more hot takes, but we'll
For
see you
now,
next week.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.